Hey there everyone, this is Hotform here. Today we're just going to be watching a random battleground that I did on my Fire Mage. Looks like we're in a battle of Gilneas today, and I don't know any of these people, it's just random battleground, so we'll see what I can do in the battle today. I'm playing Fire at the moment. It's pretty fun in battlegrounds. I like to be able to move while casting, since Scorch becomes one of your main damage dealers. That gives you a lot of mobility, and I don't know. I find in battlegrounds a lot of the time as a mage, you can just kind of hide behind the front line of the rest of your team. So being able to dart in and out of that with mobile casting gives you a lot of tactical advantages. One of the significant things to remember about Fire is that combustion is not on the global cooldown. So that comes in handy in a lot of places. You can use that on your deep freeze or any frozen target to get an extra critical to proc a pyroblast. Also, since it's not on the global cooldown, if you have a heating up charge procced, like you just use your Inferno Blast and you have a heating up procced, then you wait till your global is reset from the first Inferno Blast. You combustion and then immediately Inferno Blast again. There's a bit of a delay on when it like the game allows you a bit of delay for hitting your next Inferno Blast. So the second one will proc a Pyroblast even if the combustion doesn't critical, despite the fact that you hit combustion first. So it's just a nice way to get a guaranteed Pyroblast if you're on the move and you have a free cooldown up. So we're getting started on the battle here. Guess we should focus on that. It looks like they've come to the mines instead. I checked over on Waterworks and it didn't seem like anyone was going there, so I figured, okay, well, the other place I can go is mines, and I headed back here immediately. I popped Bloodlust because this is looking like a pretty hairy fight. I'm trying to attack this priest right now, but I have a warrior attacking me, so I'm altering time, just trying to get some distance from him. Plus, he had all his cooldowns up, so it's a great time to alter time against a warrior. There's nothing else they can really do but continue to attack you. Looks like I got hexed. The shaman's bolting me, so I figure I don't really need to trinket. He'll probably just keep attacking and break it, and indeed he does. Hex breaks on. I mean, you can take some damage, but it breaks after like a decently low amount. So often I just wait, especially if someone's attacking me. It's definitely not something crucial to trinket. I counterspelled the priest there on a full lockout, so that'll let me seal the kill. And now there's just a bunch of DPS left. There's no healers. The shaman could off heal, I suppose, but otherwise it's just a warrior and some DKs with a lot of pets. So I'm just going to go ahead and start cleaning the DPS up at this point. I try to take out the low health targets first, like I clicked on the DK first, but then, okay, no, I'll go to the warrior. He's a much better target. Got my deep freeze off that mage's Frost Nova. I mean, whenever there's another mage around, it's really helpful because it's not like all roots make you critical or all stuns. You really have to watch when you can use other freezes to your advantage because it's a guaranteed critical. And I mean, as fire, you only need one guaranteed critical. If you get that one scorch to critical, you just follow up with an Inferno Blast, bam, you got a Pyroblast. And now your burst is rolling. But if you're kind of stuck and you don't have anything going and you're just doing like non-critical scorches, it kind of sucks. You don't have much damage rolling. You really need the Pyroblast dot up at least or something going to make your pressure significant. Yeah, it looks like they're here at Waterworks. I mean, the DKs are fighting over there. They're kind of low health, so I am tempted to attack those DKs. I burst the Shaman a bit just because he's a caster and I used a counterspell on him. And I mean, for the most part, DKs aren't my favorite target. You don't really stop any of the damage by attacking them as a mage. You can just kind of kill them faster. And I'd rather do something productive with my damage. Like taking out that priest is significant help because he's the only healer that they have here at the moment. So I just try to target him as soon as he comes in every time. Because if you can keep them from getting healed, then after all their healers are dead, you just wear them down slowly. Now I get to Pyroblast this hunter. I was altering time there. You notice when he used his Stampede and he had a bunch of pets out on me. It's a great time to alter time. Hunters can dispel alter time, although most don't. And I had so many buffs on me at that point that he would have had to be really lucky to manage to dispel that. Alter time is an incredibly good cooldown, but it's kind of difficult to know when to use it sometimes. The best time to use it is right as you see them pop a burst cooldown, you know, like rapid fire, but not even for hunters, right? It could be for anything. If you see warrior popping cooldowns, you see enhancement shaman popping cooldowns. It can be purged, so it's risky. You don't want to rely on it, but pretty much anytime you see someone pop a cooldown, you know you're going to take a lot of damage. So that's a good time where you don't really want to be taking that damage. You can just go back in time to 6 seconds before that started. Um, if you're wondering, if you're not a mage and you're thinking, well, what do I do when they alter time if I don't have a dispel? You should CC them, because as a mage, the worst thing to happen when you're altering time is to get CC'd, because you don't want to trinket. I mean, that CC is going to go away in a second when you go back, but you can't activate the alter time to go back. while you're CC'd. So if you just get hit with a polymorph or something, I mean, even if you get hit with a polymorph, that heal doesn't matter. You're going to go back to what you were before. We're back over at the mine now, just continuing to defend here. You notice I keep attacking the Death Knight through his anti-magic shell. I do that for priests and dispersion too. Because as fire, the thing that sets up your burst is a critical, and you can critical someone just the same if they're using mitigation cooldown, or in the DK's case, like he's absorbing the damage. So if you critical and you just line up your pyroblast after, you know, the two scorches didn't do anything. You were just looking at him otherwise. He had an anti-magic shell up. And now you've got a pyroblast ready when he comes out because you've had time to set up some criticals. So it's actually a great time as a fire mage. People think they're so safe, like, oh, got my anti-magic shell out, you can't hurt me. But really, you're just charging up your fireballs for when that ends. And then you get to light someone up. They have quite a swarm of people here now. I'm going in a little close, I feel like, considering the number that there are. That priest is in the back. I should probably put him on focus. I'm just kind of focused on killing this warrior at the moment, though, because he's getting so nicely low. I get some nice pyroblast there. Oh, 4K. He's got rallying cry up, though. Now it looks like he's getting healed by that priest. That would be an important person to take out, and why I generally try to go for the healers first in the battle. I am getting swarmed pretty heavily, though, so I think it's a good time to ice block. And it looks like most of their team is here, so this will be a tricky situation to see if I get out of. But they're definitely mounting a good offensive in this game. It's by no means a one-sided battleground like you see often. I feel like, I don't know, more than half the times, probably battlegrounds just go very lopsided to one team or the other, but in rare cases you can have a nice close battle even in a random battleground where everybody's doing their most. We are leaving the graveyard now, and they're still pushing the mines pretty hard. I mean, they did have a significant portion of their team here. Looks like a lot of my guys are dying pretty quickly, but one of the major advantages with dying here is that I'm going to be able to use Bloodlust again. That's one of the nice things, because the duration, the debuff on the Bloodlust the duration on the Bloodlust debuff is 10 minutes, but the cooldown's only 5, so if you die, you generally get to Bloodlust again, which is pretty helpful. I accidentally Psychic Terrored there and got feared by the Siphon again after I broke it, which was kind of dumb. DK pops, Strangulate, Anti-Magic Shell, and my Frost Nova. That was kind of a waste. I don't know why you would use both, right? You think you'd only have to silence me or be immune to magic. But oh well. I'll use my Frost Ward there to get a second Frost Nova. I find that really helpful as fire to have the Frost Ward. Ring of Frost is quite nice, but it's a lot more difficult to land on targets when you have to cast it. You more have to use it just kind of as terrain control because they can see it going down as well, so it's pretty easy to dodge. And since as fire you're using Scorch, you don't have Presence of Mind, which means you have to cast the Ring of Frost. So that's why I use the Ice Ward, just because it gives you the extra Frost Nova, and Freeze is really nice for a mage, because Ring of Frost isn't as viable. So we killed the Priest there again, and I get to clean up the rest of these guys now, getting some nice Pyroblast criticals on the way, and then I'll have to check around and see what the next signs of battle are. It looks like Waterworks might be okay. I'll have to take a glance over there, but judging by the health bars right now, it seems like our team is doing not bad. Yeah, they're not under attack, so that's a good sign, and I guess I get to push in on the lighthouse a bit. Charge on over to the lighthouse then, see if we can find anyone. I mean, if I want to be top damage, I have to keep attacking things, so standing around and waiting for them to come to me is not really an option. This warrior here has had my number for quite a few of these battles so far, but I get a nice chance to attack him while he's on his mount and set up a good burst combo. So I came into that deep freeze with a Pyroblast up, which was what made it so deadly, because then I deep froze Pyroblast, that critical combustion, which wasn't on global cooldown, that critical, and then I just Pyroblasted again for another critical on my next global, so he died pretty quick. I use a stop casting macro in my counterspell, as fire especially. You can kind of get away with it in other specs without using a stop casting macro in your counterspell, because you can just move and then you stop casting, or you just jump or whatever. But with Scorch, because you can't stop casting unless you hit escape, oftentimes you can get trapped where you can't counterspell them until your Scorch cast ends. It's kind of awkward. So that's why I really use the stop casting in the counterspell. I find it quite helpful for fire. I was altering time there, unfortunately. I mean, I thought I would take a bit more damage. Maybe he would have trinketed that deep freeze or something, but I wasted a Pyroblast proc that way because I went back in time after getting 2 criticals, so that kind of sucked. But still, the warrior's taking enough damage that I think I should be okay. See, after that combustion there, I didn't really have anything going, right? All I could do is Scorch him, but hey, it criticaled, and then we get a lot of burst off that. If it doesn't critical, I can get kind of screwed. Even though his health is low, he's expecting the damage to continue at that pace, and that's what he's prepared for. He's just going to keep charging me down. But if I just Scorch him 4 or 5 times and it doesn't critical, you can be in a lot of trouble. So fire is a lot about playing kind of the opportunity of the battle. Just seeing when you have time to get casts off, and then smiling when you do get those criticals, because they make up a lot of the damage. This hunter doesn't have that much health, so I'm not too scared of him. I'm just kind of tanking his hits. I mean, I only have 2 buffs on at this point. It'd be really smart for the hunter to dispel. There's the shaman. He's thinking about dispelling. Now, I don't really expect to take the base solo, right? This is where their whole team is resurrecting, so chances are that's not going to happen. I'm just kind of trying to keep my damage up and continue pushing them in. If I keep 4 or 5 people contained there, I mean, I'm well worth my weight in the battle doing that. Even though I'm not controlling an objective, I'm just keeping so many people in one place on my own that it's quite effective. Not to mention I'm actually killing them, because it's kind of the fun part, is actually being able to do the battles. So I blow up that warrior quite nicely with my combustion. Looks like I still have a hunter coming up here, but 2 pyroblasts to the face puts him at half health instantly. He is getting back up from another hunter though, so that'll get kind of interesting. I'm going to have to ice block there, kind of plan out my next move. I notice at this point I don't have Arcane Brilliance on, which is a poor choice on my part. 5% crit is really significant, but I think it got purged. So I killed the 1 hunter there, put the other one at Dragon's Breath. This guy trinketed, so I don't have a Frost Nova up, but I can probably make him hit me with something here that's going to proc my freeze, and yeah, sure enough, he does. Procs my Ice Ward, that gives me a defreeze, and because he trinketed the Dragon's Breath, I know for sure he's stuck in that, and got some nice Pyroblast criticals to follow. This warrior still wants me. He hates my guts, probably. I've killed him quite a few times, but luckily I have a bit of help from a teammate finally to help me finish off this battle. They continue to just kind of ride in one by one. I'm not sure if they're all after me or what the plan is, but they're doing not bad, actually. It looks like they just assaulted Waterworks, so that's not the greatest for us, but still, we have quite a substantial lead at this point, so I don't think it's really going to matter. I'm more just kind of entertaining myself with the battle. Time to sit down and eat some food, though, because we've earned that rest. I've been fighting for quite a while now, and I definitely need to get some health back. So, probably one more battle here to go now. We got to go take Waterworks back. Looks like one guy's saying, oh, we're leaving me solo at the mines. And I'm thinking, okay, don't lose the mines. If you lose the mines, I mean, when they have 2 bases right now, that'd be pretty embarrassing if they managed to 3-cap and come back from this. But hopefully they don't push on that. I don't think they're actually trying too hard. It looks like there's just a hunter here. I'm going to alter time as he's bursting me, because that's a good thing to do. Unfortunately, I did lose a Pyroblast proc there as well. But a DK is coming in to try to save him now. I blew the hunter up pretty quickly, so this just kind of comes down more to a 1v1 between me and the DK, I guess. Got a deep freeze on him. Just going to follow that up with some nice burst, and that's going to put quite a dent in his health already. He actually does have a fair amount of HP for a DK, but I'm not particularly scared of him. The way fire works, I mean, you saw how fast I blew up that hunter, but then see, I'm stuck here attacking that DK for quite a while where I just didn't get any burst. That is a perfect example of what you can expect from fire, where sometimes you just explode somebody, and then sometimes you're kind of like, nothing's happening. They're coming to try to reinforce this base. Looks like there's a Berserker buff here, so I'm just going to go pick up that. That's not line of sight, you can see, to shoot through there, so it's quite nice to hit people in the water from up there on the buff platform. There's actually a fair number of them here now, so we'll see if we can make it interesting. But I should get a pretty good Pyroblast with the Berserker buff up. Didn't critical, 85,000 non-critical. Would have been nice to see that as a bit higher, but oh well. What can you do? The priest is here now. He's kind of the main target, I guess. I'm going to get a counterspell on him, and probably follow it up with a combustion to make sure that he dies. Although I might not even need to, actually. He's getting pretty low. Popping his shield. Yeah, I should have combusted before he got his shield up. The stun would have sealed the deal. Instead, I kind of just had to force it with damage, but it would have been a lot nicer to see a proper CC chain finishing on him. Anyways, though, we took back the base, and with a healthy point advantage, that's going to about wrap it up for this battle. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.